Have you ever heard of a country where a husband sells his wife for $1 million to a new husband? This is the dark side of Russia. We all know Russia as one of the world's superpowers, but this vast nation, stretching over Eastern Europe and Northern Asia, has a long and complex history. Russia is so large that it spans 11 time zones with diverse landscapes. In the early 1600s, the Romanov dynasty took over and ruled for more than 3 centuries. This era ended in the early 1900s when Lenin established the Soviet Union. Shortly before the conclusion of World War I, Lenin led until his death in 1924, after which Stalin took control. Under Stalin's rule, Russia became involved in World War II, aligning with the Allied forces. After the war, Russia entered a Cold War against another superpower, the USA. This tension persisted until Mikhail Gorbachev was elected General Secretary in 1985. He restructured Russia's political and economic systems, ending the Cold War in 1990, and was elected president the same year. In 1991, an unsuccessful Communist Party coup led to Gorbachev's resignation and the dissolution of the Soviet Union. Boris Yeltsin was then elected president, and Russia, along with Belarus and Ukraine, formed the Commonwealth of Independent States. Yeltsin resigned in 1999, naming Vladimir Putin as the acting president. Russia's status as a global superpower is evident in its economic growth. From 2012 to 2022, Russia's GDP grew at an average rate of 1.12% annually. With a GDP of $3.995 trillion in 2022, it ranks as the world's 5th largest economy, with a GDP per capita of $1,789. However, this economic growth is not evenly distributed among the population. In the Corruption Perceptions Index, Russia scored 72 out of 100, indicating a high level of corruption. It ranks 139th globally for transparency. Corruption has been a persistent issue in Russia, dating back to the Tsarist era and continuing through communist and modern times. For example, in 1948, 7 members of the Soviet Union Supreme Court were suspended for taking bribes. By the 2000s, state corruption was estimated to cost citizens nearly $3 billion. In 2001, a survey revealed that business corruption cost citizens up to $33.8 billion. A new form of corruption emerged in the 2000s, known as oligarchy, where government and business merged. By 2011, 94% of public officials owned stakes in large companies, allowing them to influence government decisions and dominate markets. A notorious case involved the acting head of the police force's anti-corruption division, where so much money was found at his house that investigators needed a container large enough to hold 87 million pounds in cash. Corruption in Russia contributes to income and wealth inequality. The richest 1% of Russians hold 50% of the nation's income and wealth, leaving the remaining 99% with the other 50%. Approximately 8% of Russia's population lived below the poverty line in 2022, an improvement from previous years, but the country still has much progress to make. Another power imbalance in Russia is the presence of the Russian mafia. Known as the Vori, they have been depicted widely in pop culture. They trace their roots back to the Tsarist era and were reshaped in Stalin's gulags. After the Soviet Union's dissolution, they blended with the new elite, becoming a breed of gangster businessmen. As the Iron Curtain fell, the Vori expanded to other countries, engaging in criminal activities ranging from money laundering to hacking. These gangsters often work with the government, making it difficult to dismantle them. A notable case in 2015 involved a businessman named Badry Shelia, who testified that the head of Moscow's investigative committee received a $500,000 bribe from a mob boss. Thanks to Shelia's testimony, Maximenko was sentenced to 13 years, but sadly, Shelia was found shot dead in a Mercedes in St. Petersburg in 2018. Every country has its dark and bright sides, and Russia is no exception. Here are a few surprising facts about Russia. Number 1. The Russian Interior Ministry is cracking down on uniform modifications after male officers began cutting off their sleeves and female officers shortened their skirts. Some images even showed female officers in short skirts and heels, causing distractions. The ministry now requires officers to maintain a neat appearance with standard uniforms and no wrinkles. Number 2. Russian farmers use VR headsets to reduce anxiety in their cows. These headsets show cows a summer field simulation, improving their mood and increasing milk production. The study's expansion could make this a new industry standard in the future. Though Russia has its downsides, this mysterious country offers much more to explore and understand.